to episode 14 of the Catherine Crochets podcast. Hi, my name is Catherine Nerona. I'm a crochet designer from South London in the UK, and this is my podcast in which I talk about all the recent crochet projects that I've been working on. Hi, how are you all? Thank you so much for tuning in and coming back if you've watched before, or joining me for the first time if you're new. It's really lovely to have you all here with me, and I hope you enjoy hearing about some of the crochet projects that I've been working on recently. It's Friday the 4th of February, and I think it was 2 weeks ago that I filmed the last podcast. It's been a bit of an odd couple of 2 weeks. We're all absolutely fine, but I think I mentioned in my last podcast that COVID was going around one of my daughter's classes at school, so we've all sort of been waiting really for it to reach us, feeling that it was in some way inevitable, because every day there seemed to be new cases amongst her friends catching it. But it seems to have passed through her class. There's not been any new cases now for I think a week, and I think pretty much all of them caught it apart from about 3, including my daughter. So we managed to miss that one, but it's now going through my other daughter's class, so we'll have to wait and see if we get it. It seems to be generally quite mild, so we're not so much worried about the COVID. We're all vaccinated and boosted and whatnot. But it's more the uncertainty and having to change plans and things like that. We've got my daughter's birthday party coming up, hopefully next weekend, and it'd be such a shame if one of us caught it and we had to cancel or postpone. So we're just sort of holding our breath at the moment and hoping that we manage to stay unaffected by it, but we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, apart from that, life's just been going on as normal with work and school and a bit of crochet time. This morning I went to it was called, what was it called? Something like a crafty morning, where basically it was a get together for people who do any sort of craft that you can bring with you that's portable and that you can sort of do on your lap. So knitting, crochet, sewing, whatever you fancy, as long as you can bring it along and just sort of manage it in front of you. And it's run, it's about a 5-minute drive from me, just up the road, in a studio in the grounds of a house, and it's a really beautiful light space. I used to do a Pilates class there a couple of years ago, although that then stopped, so I haven't been there for a couple of years, but it really is a very special place, surrounded by trees. It's in a converted outbuilding, but she's put skylight windows, Velux windows in the roof, so there's lots of natural light coming through. We just sat around for a couple of hours working on our projects and chatting and drinking tea and eating biscuits, and it was a really nice morning. So I'm going to go back there again next Friday morning, and you can just book to go whenever you can, really, on an ad hoc basis. So I'm looking forward to dropping in and going to that a bit more as well. So that was something new that was really nice today. So what have I got to tell you about today? I've got one finished item, three whips, 3 works in progress, and I've got a new pattern out in the current issue of Crochet Now magazine, which came out yesterday, on Thursday. So I haven't got the project itself, that's still with the magazine, but I've got a copy of the magazine that they sent me, so I can show it to you in there. So the finished item, which I made, it literally took me a couple of hours, is this cowl. I made one, different colours, a different yarn actually, of these just before Christmas to my mum, because she asked me if I could make her a cowl. I'd made her one before, but it was quite a loose one, drapey one, and she asked if I could make her a cowl that was a bit tighter, sort of round her neck and over her shoulders a bit as well, to really keep out the drafts on cold winter days. So I came up with this design, and I made her one in a sort of petrol blue colour just before Christmas, and gave it to her for Christmas. And I did take some photos of it. I'll see if I can pop one in. They weren't brilliant, but I'll if I remember. I think I said I'd put a photo in of something last time and then completely forgot. But if I remember, I'll pop in a photo of it in another colour. But this week I've made another one in a different colour, and this is for my mother-in-law. It was her birthday yesterday. We're going to see her tomorrow, hopefully, and so I'll be able to give it to her then. So I haven't wrapped it up yet because I wanted to be able to show it to you. But it's dead simple. If I just undo the buttons, you can see how simple it is. It is literally just one long rectangle of crochet. It's all done with half treble stitch, or half DC in US terms, in the back loops only to make it ribbed. Then I did a final row of double crochet, making a couple of chains to leave spaces for the buttons, and then attached 3 buttons here, and then you just fold it over, wrap it round and do up the buttons like that, and then you can pop it on and wear it and keep you warm. So I've made that for my mother-in-law. It's made with super chunky yarn. It's Stylecraft Life Super Chunky, I think that's what it's called, which is a mixture of acrylic and wool, and the colour is Spice. I don't know how well it's picking up on the camera, but it's mainly this sort of spicy colour, but then it's also got like bits of red and blue in it. Can you see there? Little flecks of different colours that makes it really nice and warm, and I really like it. I bought 2 balls, and it needed more than I needed both the balls, but I've still got quite a lot of the second ball left, so obviously it's not enough to make another one of these, but I'm thinking, not sure what yet, but I really absolutely love this colour, so I might try and think of something small that I can make myself with the yarn that's left over. But I'm gonna write up the instructions of how to make this because it's so simple. I'm just gonna put it on my blog as a free pattern if anyone else wants to make it, about the yarn quantities and hook sizes that I used and so on. There is one little mistake which I don't know if you can spot, you probably wouldn't know, but what I did, I bought these buttons and I sewed on the first one, and then I realised that, just turn them slightly so it's not too dark, I'd sewed the first one on the wrong way up. You can't really see, but they're supposed to be that sort of more textured matte finish, and I put it on the wrong way up, so it's got the more smooth shiny back. But once I'd done it, I thought, well, it looks absolutely fine with them like that. To unpick it might actually damage the crochet stitches a bit. And I thought, actually, my mother-in-law, might probably prefer the slightly smoother, sleeker side of the buttons anyway, rather than the more sort of rustic natural side. So I thought, well, I'll leave it like that and that'll be fine. But they are actually on the wrong way around, but I think it still looks all right. So I haven't named it. I'm not sure if I will name it or just call it something like Easy Ribbed Cowl or something. But yeah, I hope to write that up soon, just very straightforwardly, and pop that on the blog if you do want to make something similar for yourself. It is really, really quick and dead easy to make. So that's my finished object. Moving on to works in progress. So I think I mentioned last time that I wanted to have a small portable project that I could have on the go for when I go places, like to my daughter's new climbing club that she's just started. And I think I mentioned that I had bought the Fiddle Socks pattern by Marta at Marta Mitchell Designs. But if I didn't, I bought it, I'll tell you now. And I have made, and I was going to make it, yeah, I did tell you, didn't I? I was going to make it with this acacia yarn from Hobby that I had left over from another project that I'd made for Hobby last year. So there's 4 sizes of the sock. I think it's small, medium, large and extra large. And my foot, it fell within the large dimensions, the length of the foot. It was at the lower end of it, but it was definitely a large. So I followed the large pattern and I used 0.5 millimeter smaller hook than what the pattern stated. And I should have put it on a sock blocker because they look much nicer then, don't they? But anyway, I made a sock, the first sock. And it was really good pattern to follow, really clear, really well written up. But when I finished it, well, as I was making it, really, I thought it does look like it's working up really, really big. But I tried it on, it fits, obviously I can get my foot into it easily. And it's not actually massively too big. It's it is loose, but I would wear it sort of as a cozy sock to wear, you know, at home or in bed in the evenings. I wouldn't wear it, I don't know, in wellies or something else. That might be another time you'd wear it. I'd be more likely to just wear it at home. So I thought, okay, that's fine, I'll go with it. But I thought I'll make the next one in the next size down and see how that comes out. But I started making it and I don't know if my tension had changed, but when you start up at the cuff and work down, when I made the cuff, it just came out so much smaller than this cuff. There was no way I was going to get my foot through it. It just wasn't going to fit around my ankle or my calf. So I decided to switch back and make another one in this large size and just have 2 large, warm, cozy socks. But for some reason as well, I'm not quite sure why, but I decided to make the cuff a different colour. So this is how far I've got on the second one, and it's got this sort of terracotta-y colour cuff. Looking at it, I think my tension just must have changed, because look, that is much smaller than that, isn't it? That is a huge difference. But I am still following the large pattern, so I don't know how the rest of the sock's going to come out. That's really odd, isn't it? I might end up making it's quite quick, and like I say, I'm working on it when my daughter's at her climbing club, so I'll make this one, see how it comes out. If it comes out a bit smaller than this one, I might make another one in this colour combination, so I'll have 3 socks and hope that I've got 2 that are a bit smaller, that fit a bit better than this one, because this one is really big. So I don't know, watch this space, and maybe I'll work out my sizing and tension and hook size, who knows. But yeah, it's a really nice pattern, and I definitely recommend it if you fancy having a go at some socks. And it uses a DK yarn, which is unusual for socks, which is sort of why it's such a chunky sock, quite thick and cozy, so good for bed socks and wearing at home in the evenings, keeping your feet warm. So yeah, looking forward to having a pair of those. Whether or not it's the 2 that I've got on the go at the moment, or whether I make a third, remains to be seen. So watch this space. The next whip I'm working on is part of a challenge for Hobby Yarn. I've taken part in 2 of these so far, I think. No, 3 now. This is the 4th one, and they invite a whole range of different I don't know if anyone not on Instagram, but definitely lots of people on Instagram to take part in these challenges. I think you'd have to be, actually, because part of the requirement is that you post pictures on Instagram. So yeah, they invite different people on Instagram, knitters and crocheters, to take part in these challenges that they run quite often. And they have if you would like to take part in it, there's a list of quite a large selection of different ones of their yarns that you can choose from, and there's a bit of a brief, like some challenges I think are specifically to do with children or to do with clothing or different things, whereas others are a bit broader and you can make whatever you want. So this challenge is called, I think it's called Hobby Love Fest, something like that. It's celebrating love because it's February, Valentine's Day this month. It's all about celebrating love of knitting or crochet or whatever you do, whichever your craft is. And the idea was that you use some pinks or warmer colours in what you were making, which that appealed to me straight away, because this year I really want to try using lots of, or some, warmer colours in my crochet. Previously I've used a lot of greens and blues and teals, and I absolutely love those colours, but I wanted to move a bit more out of my comfort zone and start using some other colours as well. So I thought this would be a good challenge to take on, to start using some warmer colours. So the yarn I chose to use was Hobby's Twister yarn, which is the main Twister yarn is a gradient yarn. So I went for this one. I don't know if it's got a name or just a number. If it has got a name, it doesn't say it on here, it's just got the number. There might be a name on the website. And it starts, I'll show you in a minute, the middle is like a spicy orange colour, and then obviously it goes out to this sort of burgundy. I'll hold it up so you can see a bit better there. And then there also, to go with it, with this range, you can get Twister Solid, which just comes in plain colours. So I got this one in a navy. It's not a really dark navy, but it's yeah, a navy blue, and I am making with it, I'm making a tapestry crochet wrap or scarf. It's reversible, same on both sides, but it does look slightly, I can't remember which side it is, it does look slightly better on one side than the other, although I can't remember. Probably can't tell from there. Let me just have a look. Yeah, this one. It's very subtle. So it does look, I think, slightly better on that side. So that's the pattern I'm going for. So as you can see, this was the very middle of the whirl, which was a spicy orange colour. And then the blue will be a constant along the whole length of the scarf or wrap. And then the orange will turn into the pink and the maroon. So I was working on that this morning at the craft group that I went to, and you can't really tell, I'm not sure if you can, but I have just got to the very first colour change. So the first section is very bright orange, and then the last few rows, where did it start? About here, I think. It's ever so slightly browner. It's got one of the strands has switched to more of a browny colour, but yeah, it's very subtle, and obviously it will change through more. So yeah, looking forward to working on that a bit more. These gradient yarns, as I'm sure you know, are really addictive to work with, because you just want to keep going until you get to the next colour change, but it is taking a little bit of a while. I'm not sure at the moment whether or not I'm going to have enough of the blue. I might need another one of the blues to get here. Also not sure if I should have made it a little bit wider, because to use up all of this, having only just got through one colour change, maybe it will be alright, I'm not sure. it might end up ridiculously long to get right to the end of it. But then I also wondered if I got to just before the end of it and then use the very final outer colour, maybe as a border to edge it. I'm not sure. I'll see how long it is when I get near the end of the whirl, and hopefully I've got enough blue, but I'm not sure. I might need to get a bit more. But that's what I'm working on for the Hobby Love challenge this month. So that's my second work in progress, which is a new one. Oh, I also got, because when you choose the yarn, it's normally a month or so in advance, so I had it in mind to make a wrap, but I hadn't decided on the actual design, so I also got these other two solid whirls, thinking that I might incorporate those as well, because all the colours, I'll hold them up again, they do go quite well together. But now I've started with this, I'm not quite sure how I'd incorporate these two colours into the design really. I think it'd be better, I think it will look much more effective if I just use the blue as the contrast colour the whole way, and the gradient yarn, gradient cake for the main colour, rather than bringing in another colour, but we'll see. So the last work in progress to show you today is some more of the squares that I was working on last time. So I showed you, which one had I made? I think it was this one I showed you last time. I've now sewn in the ends on it. So I'd made that one last time. I've also now made this one, which is, can you spot the difference? It's the same except for the rust and the red are switched round. So this, instead of being rust and red, is red and rust, but everything else is the same. I definitely wanted to make this colour and these yellow corners the same, because, see if I can hold it up, when you join them, they will, can't really do this very well here, can I? When, obviously I'm not really going to wear them, but when you join them, they will match up there and there and there. So I wanted to make sure those are the same, and then what I'm going to do is, I've got worked it all out, I'm going to switch this yellow, red and rust around and do different versions of those. So I've made those two completed, and I've started on a third, which has rust in the middle and red round the edges. So I'm going to make 16 of those all together, and then I've got a plan for what I'm going to do to make a square, 4x4 square of them, and then I've got a plan for a bit more that I'm going to put around the edge, but they do take quite a long time to make each square, especially because there's some rounds where you're juggling, I think, 4 different colours. Yeah, there's a couple of rounds where you've got 4 colours on the go. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time to do them. So yeah, especially now I've got other things on the go as well. I think it'll be a while before I have all these squares, but that's going to be a nice long-term ongoing project. And that's it for my works in progress. I have done a bit more work on the Juniper Jumper that I've been working on. I think I've finished a sleeve. I can't remember it. You have to measure it to see if you've made it long enough, and I think I have made one sleeve. I'll have to check next time I get it out. So that means I've just got one more sleeve to go, and then I can join it all together. But I had another cunning plan about this project, and as you know, it's taken me a lot longer to make than I thought. I started it last September. The plan was to make it for my daughter's birthday, which was in September, but that obviously passed. Christmas also passed, and then to complicate things, once my daughter's birthday passed, I decided, right, I wanted to make 2 jumpers, one for each daughter, so I can give them to them at the same time. But this jumper, it's made all with double crochet or US single crochet plus the dots. So it's taking a long time to make, and it is a lovely design, but I totally underestimated how long it would take to make a project using all double crochet stitches, and I don't think I'd do it again, unless I was making it maybe for a baby or a toddler, in which case then I might, because it would be a lot smaller obviously. So I decided to find a different pattern for the jumper that I'm going to make for my other daughter, in the hope that it'd be a bit quicker. Also, it's still only February, but by the time I've finished the Juniper jumper and made another jumper, it's likely to be spring, and it might not really be jumper weather. The Juniper jumper is quite thick as well, so it'll be quite a cozy one. So I'm thinking, because obviously they're still growing, I might give the Juniper jumper to my younger daughter, so she's still got plenty of time to wear it, and she might even have to grow into it, I don't know. And so the next jumper I make, I'm going to make much bigger so it can be for my older daughter. So that's the plan. It keeps changing every time I talk to you about it. And I have bought a pattern for the other jumper that I'm going to make, which is, it's called the Confetti Sweater or Jumper. I think it's just Confetti. And I can't remember the name of the designer off my head, but I will put that in the show notes along with details of all the other patterns that I've mentioned, like the Fiddle Socks and so on. Yeah, so that's an update on that. But I thought I won't show it to you, although maybe I should have. It might have been more interesting than me just talking about it, because there wasn't really much to see apart from just an oblong for the sleeve. But hopefully next time there might be a bit more of a update to actually show you. I might have finished another sleeve, it depends. But I've sort of, because of the change of plan, I've given myself a bit longer to work on it now, so I might have a bit of a break while I work on those other two whips that I've got on the go this month. So the last thing I have to talk to you about today is a new blanket pattern, which is out in this issue of Crochet Now magazine, and I was really chuffed because it made it onto the front cover down here. It is a big hexagonal blanket. Let me see if I can find it in the magazine and show you a bigger picture of it. Where is it? You can never find, here we go. Right, so that's a bigger picture of it. It is called the Copernicus blanket. Fold it back. And you can't really see it in their picture so well. I don't know if it's obvious or not really, but it's hexagonal. And then it's got these three 6-point stars made with tapestry crochet in the hexagon, and there's a tassel at each corner of the blanket. It's really big. It's quite quick really, because it's made with Aran yarn. It used paint box Aran acrylic yarn to make it. Yeah, so it's out in the current issue of Crochet Now, which came out on Thursday, so you can get it in shops in the UK, you can order it online, and you can also get a digital copy. There's an app called the Pocket Mags app where you can get a digital copy if you want, or if you're outside of the UK and can't get a hard copy of the magazine. Yeah, and then in about 4 months I'll be able to release it myself as well. So if you just wanted to wait and get it on Ravelry or Etsy, just that pattern for that blanket itself, then I'll be releasing it in about 4 months from now. So yeah, you also get in the magazine this nice stitch marker and hook set, and a booklet of mindful mandala patterns to make. There's some really nice patterns in this issue actually. I was having a look through. I think that jumper on the front cover is really pretty, isn't it? With the open stitches there, sort of flower pattern. There was something else I spotted as well that I thought would be really nice to make. Which one was it? I won't be able to find it now. Oh, there's this cute little elephant toy. I don't really make amigurumi. I had a disaster once when I tried to make some balls and they looked more like lemons, so that sort of put me off really. Oh, there's the jumper. It's called the Meander Jumper. That's really pretty, isn't it? And oh yeah, this beret I thought was lovely. Isn't that nice? Quite stylish. I think they've used quite fine yarn to get that drape. That looks really nice. Oh, there's this gorgeous blanket here from Kylie Molita. She's also on Instagram, but isn't that a fun blanket? Really like that. Maybe that was it. I'm sure I saw something else. Oh yeah, this one, page 52. It says it's there's a cardigan, which looks like a really nice summery cardigan there. What do you think? Nice casual one. Yeah, so that pattern's out now, so that's really exciting, and that is about it for today. I've got to go and collect the girls from school in a minute, but pleased to have fitted this in beforehand, so hopefully I'll get this up on YouTube either later today or tomorrow. We're celebrating my mother-in-law's birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to make a birthday cake for that, so that will be yummy. Nice to have cake in the house. And well, we're going to a snowdrop day on Sunday at a place near us. It's a house and gardens, but it's not open all the time, but it has certain days of the year where it opens for specific things, and at this time of year there's a few Sundays where it's open to see the snowdrops. Apparently it's got lots of snowdrops in the gardens, and we've not been and seen them before, so quite looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully the weather will be dry, so that'll be nice on Sunday afternoon. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend and week as well. Thanks again for watching and tuning in, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.